I love sweet God magnet. Love just to tell you don't you grab it. Welcome to Lobster Magnets Review, the channel, the review. I'm here with my buddy Goro Gregoro.
Yeah, I'm here.
We are incredibly late with this review. We are terrible. I blame it all on him. I tried for ages to drag his ass, but then good old buddy Jimmy came over and he was dragging Greg around, and then Greg felt tired and sleepy. And there was a point where I was like, I'm gonna kick you off this review. I'm gonna do it on my own. But then I had the existential realization that I kind of hate talking my own to the camera. It just makes me feel sad and lonely and makes it kind of boring for me. I like having someone to bounce off of, especially for My Hero Academia, since I'm the manga master race kind of superior person. So it's more engaging for me to lord my manga knowledge over Greg, and more interesting to see how he's reacting to these developments fresh. And this was a jam-packed episode. I really liked it. It was a really fun one. So Greg, what was your impression of Gran Torino?
He was like a little Master Yoda.
Well, I think what makes Gran Torino very interesting is he sort of speaks volumes to the philosophy of My Hero Academia as a whole. Because on a surface level, he is extremely derivative. We've seen the sort of wizened old master who goes between being a kook and being super badass many fucking times before. It is the most played out cliche that we are so accustomed to in pop culture, but it still was fun and fresh, and it just goes to show you if you do something and you fully believe in it, that you can get away even if it is cliched.
Yeah, I guess that is interesting in itself, because it's so cliche, but people are already trying to get away from the cliche, but it's now it's anti-hipster in a way. Hipsters are trying to make cool out of things of I don't like that because it's popular. But this is now it's in the reverse direction of hipster.
Well, that's interesting. I don't know if that's the most articulate way of putting it, but I will bring this comparison. When Evangelion came out, it was considered to be a deconstruction of the giant mecha thing. Here are these grounded emotional characters. Here are all their depressions. It's not just about kids beating the shit out of aliens and giant robots. There's so much more. We're deconstructing the genre to break down these characters to their horrible core, to the point where piloting a giant robot is a horrible, traumatic, soul-crushing experience. And then Gurren Lagann came years later, and it was based in after Eva. There were hundreds of shows with emo kids driving robots, and a lot of people was trying to be the next Eva. But then Gurren Lagann came, and it was basically the anti-Eva, in the sense that kids driving robots is fucking awesome. Everything about this is awesome, and we're gonna make the most awesome shonen-y, hyper shonen version of this that does not try to shy away from the cliches. We lean into it 110%. And that's kind of describes My Hero Academia to me in a nutshell, in the sense that a lot of the things we're seeing here are not super original. Disney years ago had a superhero high school show called movie called Sky High.
Uh-huh.
And Shoto with his he's basically an amalgam of so many fucking characters. It's if you had whatchamacallit, a big gay orgy with Akoji from One Piece, Ace, and Zuko from Fire, Avatar, The Last Airbender,
and they Sasuke, just had
Sasuke, and they just had this gigantic, you put them in a gigantic orgy, or you made a genetic clone, you would get him out of it, and he should feel generic and terrible, but he still works. He still works because Horikoshi, I'm gonna butcher his name, so I'm not even gonna try it. The mangaka behind this, believes in it, and telling his story as earnestly and sincerely as possible. And because these are characters with simple motivations that you believe in, you engage with them, and that just that on a much on that good of a level.
Yeah, that's interesting that you compare it to Gurren Lagann. And Gurren Lagann is fully embracing the tropes And I guess that is kind of
I
what
wouldn't
My Hero
say,
Academia
well,
does in some sense.
it's not 100% apt because Gurren Lagann, like is such an over the top degree. Well, I don't feel like My Hero Academia is as over the top, but it is super sincere. It is super earnest. It's not trying to be a deconstruction. It's a love of superhero and high school and shonen cliches, and it just wants to do the best, just like Deku wants to do the best.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like it's something that has like so many like cliche elements, and it doesn't feel like that dull at all.
Yeah, it is really interesting, and I feel like someone out there is going to make like an awesome video essay, like breaking down how it works well. Who knows? Maybe I'll be the person to try and like sort out the alchemy and try and distill why it works so well, even though it's cliche. As of right now, just sincerity, honesty, and earnestness. But you need to dig deeper. But I thought it worked perfectly. It was perfectly well directed. Him flipping back and forth between like his goofy and more serious modes. And I loved it when like the revised version of like the My Hero Academia music kicks in as he's bouncing around.
Yeah.
And Deku spars with him, and he's like, you Zygote. What do you got on him? And he's like, undermining him, and you get this wonderful sense that like, Deku is like wants to like impress this senior old guy.
He seems like a really cool mentor figure. Like at first sight, I just thought Yoda. He's like shuffling through his bag, his belongings. He's not what he appears to be at first, and then he's like, Jedi
Still
warrior.
there, Red?
Oh, can you not hear me?
Red.
Can you not hear me?
Oh, now I can hear you. There was like a little bit of an internet fart. We're going to Ubu. This is like I'm telling you, this is like the second to last Skype one we're ever doing. Fuck you, Skype. We're gonna get to better hardware. This is shit.
Yes, it is shit.
Anyway, so you were saying?
Yeah, what was I saying? Fuck. Goddamn. So yeah, he's like Yoda, where he's very unassuming at first. He's shuffling, even shuffling through Deku's bag, like Yoda shuffling through Luke Skywalker's backpack when Luke first landed.
Dagobah.
And then he's like, and Deku's like, I want you to get serious. I want to get serious. And then the old man immediately gets serious. I feel like that was like a little bit of a tribute to Star Wars, actually.
Well, there's like a lot of tributes. Like, Horikoshi is not like, subtle with his references. Like, haven't you noticed how we passed by Tatooine Station?
Tatooine Station, you mean?
Yeah, there's like this location in the series called Tatooine Station. It's obviously a reference to Tatooine, the planet.
I don't remember that. Which station was it?
It's not an iconic location, but you'll see the thing and it says Tatooine Station.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Oh, I wonder if the announcer guy is actually if that's somewhat based on like the pod racing from Star Wars.
No, I don't think so. I think he's just sort of a boisterous announcer character. It's an archetype we've seen many times, and Present Mike is just the most announcer of all time, where it's like tied into his superpower. But actually, that brings up like an old interview with the mangaka where he said that like with My Hero Academia, after failing with his previous two series, he said he wanted to make something that like basically encapsulated everything he loved. And maybe that's why it stands out so much, because he's basically doing all this unabashed things that he loves so much, and that sort of general enthusiasm just comes through the series, and of course in the anime adaptation.
That's interesting. Yeah, so we make like a whole bunch of references to just basically everything and anything.
All the things he loves. So, like, there's a scene where they like reference Jurassic Park, and there's like a mall location that kind of looks like Jurassic Park, and they even call it like that. and then there's the Tatooine Station, and all these things he loves that he's just combining. And not quite as well as like Oda manages to like incorporate styles, but because it's so unabashed. And aside from the introduction of Gran Torino, what did you think of the little montage of like all the other characters in their respective hero internships?
Just one of them was just kind of pretty funny. I like Exploding Guy and Jeans Pants Man.
Best Gina.
Just like best costume design ever for a superhero character. Just like raise your pants above your nose. You look like a super badass in like anime terms.
He's a fun character. He's not like a super important character. He's just like a fun side character. And like we don't get a lot about the other internships. We just get a little taste. But it is fun to like get a little bit more deeper into the terms of like how the actual economics of the hero world. If Togashi was writing My Hero Academia, he'd have like 5 chapters explaining like how the currency system of how superheroes work as civil servants.
Oh man, at some point we'll have to get into Hunter x Hunter and talk about that, like what's going on with there. But jeez,
but like but you get a little taste of it that they're civil servants. They get paid by the government. They have to file reports, but they're also
different heroes have higher priorities for different things. Like there's that one woman who's just like we've got to find out how to take best advantage of our downtime. And it has
she's just being lazy, eating chips while the little pervert kid just is forced to mop up after her.
Yeah, like you could see that would be like one of Stain's like main targets.
Oh yeah. Stain would kill practically all of them. He hates them all, especially like the snake-headed girl who wants to like film a commercial, and she just like hired like the poor creation girl and the other girl because they're cute.
Yeah, that's also another good example.
So you're sort of seeing like the Instagram's, internet fame culture side of My Hero Academia.
Yeah, and it's just this, it's not as whatchamacallit. It doesn't seem as morally like just in a lot of respects for like certain characters. Maybe some characters are more like righteous than others.
You have like some characters like Aizawa, the teacher, Eraserhead, who just like wants to be a competent hero and takes his job super seriously and doesn't give a shit about publicity or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess you sort of like have the All Might figure who doesn't really so much care about his publicity, but like because he has this sort of like I'm the symbol of peace, I'm the best guy ever facade, it like lends itself naturally to the best of both worlds.
Wait, who are you talking about again? Sorry, I blanked out.
All Might.
Oh yeah, yes.
And of course you have that like I love that stupid 5-second scene where they show the frog girl doing push-ups with like the Navy.
Yeah, that was pretty cute.
People fucking love that frog girl. She's like the breakout side character.
She's good waifu material.
Yeah, good
but
waifu.
But no Invisible Girl. What happened to the Invisible Girl? Where is she interning?
Just who knows, man? She's invisible. I know she's.
She could be interning at any one of those places.
Greg, I'm gonna buy you like a figurine of the Invisible Girl. It's on your desk right now.
Isaac, you shouldn't have. Thank you so much.
I know. Beautiful. It's amazing. It's incredible. Best girl ever for all time.
Oh my god. That should be an affiliate link, Isaac.
I know.
Invisible Girl costume.
I'll have to find something for Supergirl, Invisible Girl. But I'm trying to think. There's still a few other things to discuss in this episode. We don't want to make this too long. And the biggest thing is that, like, not only did we get that overview of the internships, we got the debut of a brand new upgrade power-up power. What did you think of Midora learning to use full cowl?
That was pretty cool. It was very reminiscent of how Gon learns Nen in a few episodes of Hunter x Hunter, where he's figuring shit out, testing a whole bunch of stuff, and he's like, relating like real world things that he sees, you know, towards the development of his own powers.
Well, the interesting thing about like how you develop powers in the My Hero Academia universe is that like because everyone has their own individual quirk, there's no one who can like I mean, except for like I guess people with genetic abilities or whatnot, there's really no one who can like teach you. Well, except with the exception of like One for All, there's no one who can like teach you how to use your quirk. You just have to like work on your own and come up with clever shit for it.
Yeah, exactly. Because no one knows like what your quirk is best with. Like,
yeah.
No one has any experience with your quirk necessarily. I mean, to some extent, Endeavor, like maybe Endeavor's children has like a little bit of Shoto's abilities.
Yeah, well, obviously, like because that's like a genetic thing. He could probably, this is how you use fire. He could train, Shoto. But, who the fuck is going to train Frog Girl how to be the best Frog Girl? Who's going to train the Tail guy to be the best Tail martial artist? That's all, shit only he can do on his own while experimenting and coming up with clever ideas for his tail. There's no other bird guy with a dark shadow to train main bird guy.
Well, I just heard, some other bird in the background. Maybe that bird could, maybe that's the sensei of the bird guy.
Maybe, yeah.
Captain Crunch Sensei.
Maybe that's what I'll do. Is I'll commission some fan art of just like Captain Crunch hanging out with the bird guy in like the most stupidest fucking thing ever. God, that would be retarded.
I want to see. I kind of want to see what the other students' internships are like.
You'll get like glimpses of it, not too much. The main focus is on Deku, his relationship with Gran Torino, and of course the mounting tension between Ida's hunt for the hero killer.
Yes,
and we got a little bit of it. You like Shigaraki meeting up with Stain.
Yeah, when I looked at that scene, even after like watching your video, I felt like, wow, it's like so obvious now, like. Why Stain is like so much of a better villain than what's his name, Toragashi? Shigaraki.
Yeah, Shigaraki.
Yeah, and Shigaraki literally has just said at that scene, like, all I want to do is kill All Might.
I just want
to kill him because he makes me angry.
Yeah, he's literally like
I hate his face.
Like Sid from like fucking Toy Story, who just wants to blow up shit in the yard. yeah, but like I said, like I think that's like I don't think it's reached its full potential, but if it's going where I think it's going, I think the arc of Tomura Shigaraki is going to be epic. And if the whole thing is about him learning to become a better villain and like him like sort of crystallizing his hate, right now he's immature, but he hasn't quite gained it yet. But if he has that like sort of like moment where it all comes clear and he sort of like becomes the Joker and like gets to the true reason behind its hate, and right now it's all subtext.
Yes.
It hasn't really been like we haven't gotten his super backstory. In fact, I've got another video that's almost done that talks a little bit more about that. It's gonna be such a fucking good video. I commissioned Erwin to do some artwork, and that's the only reason why it's not out right now.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, I'm so angry. The motherfucking Indonesian cat is like, he sent me something. I asked for revisions, and now he's, like he usually does when I ask for revisions, falling off the face of the earth. And now I have to go hunt him. It's going to be a good video, though. Basically, I talk about, like, how I think All Might's going to die.
Oh, shit.
He's not dead yet. Don't be afraid. But, obviously you can see the guy's got death flags all over him. The series is not particularly subtle. I have conflicted feelings about it in terms of like what I think would be a good death scene for him, because like there's nothing more boring than a predictable death. Like the Han Solo death in Force Awakens, which I also talk about in the video.
Oh boy. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. I still have to see the Uber video that you made.
Get to that soon. Okay, so we should wrap this up. What would you give this episode?
I really like this. I love the references to Yoda and Star Wars, and I like Gon's training sequences were.
Deku's training sequences. They're
Sorry.
both great, Greg, but they're different characters.
Sorry.
They're very different.
Sorry. I was so reminded by Gon in Hunter x Hunter that, you know, it made me think of it so much, and I just like it felt like very reminiscent of Gon in Hunter x Hunter. I wonder if it's like referring to that at all.
No, not really, because like I think Nen is like much more well thought out than this training sequence is, and you know the way he learns it is kind of dumb with like the let's microwave the takoyaki.
Yeah, but like even Hunter x Hunter had something like, remember they're learning like stupid facts about artifacts, and
like, I don't feel like
explode the artifact from within some bullshit, destroy the wall with it. It was like a code that him and Killua came up with in order to escape.
Yeah. I remember that scene. It was a cute scene. I wouldn't compare the Takoyaki to that, though. I don't think the Takoyaki was as smart as that, or fun, smart, dumb as that. But Greg, come on, what's your rating?
8. It was a really good chapter.
I'm gonna rate a little higher. I'm gonna call it a 9, just because like I thought it did a great job of like balancing a lot of elements. It felt like we covered a lot of material. It handled it all really well. It was really well paced. I love the fact that we got like introduction to Gran Torino. We got the other hero internships. We got a reintroduction to Shigaraki and him meeting the hero killer, and we also have what was the last thing? A deeper look into the hero world. I think it accomplished a lot. It was really well directed. It was a really fun episode, even if it wasn't the most action packed. And I appreciate that when you cover a lot of material and you do it in a concise way that doesn't feel rushed like the Berserk things, but still feels well paced and like it's moving at a good clip.
Yeah, I think the other internships slowed it down a little bit for me in terms of pace. I felt like the internships kind of dragged on a tiny bit.
They didn't spend too much time though. Each one only got like 2 or 3 minutes.
Like I wanted to maybe, even if we did look into those other internships, I wanted to have like a more emotional attachment to them. Like maybe Exploding Guy was like going to have like some revelation within his own character a little bit with Gene's pants man,
Best
dude.
Genus.
Best Genus, and like maybe Floaty Girl was going to have like some more, revelations in her character. I don't know. I wanted to see like I want to see more characters evolve like Deku.
Well, that's where you sort of get one of Horikoshi's weaknesses as a mangaka, that he's not great at like balancing a large cast and giving each character a fulfilling moment.
Yeah.
Like, he'll do, like, something cute or fun that's, like, just a gimmicky throwaway thing, and he's decent at that, but he's not really great at balancing a huge cast like Oda is, or even Kishimoto was back at his heyday.
I can see that.
Which I feel like, I still, really enjoy everything, but, it's sort of like one of his deficiencies. You don't expect it, you're not going to get it.
Interesting. Well, something to keep in mind when I'm watching this series.
Yeah. Well, you'll see what you think in the next episode when we get more hints at it. All right. So, I'm gonna put an affiliate link for something My Hero Academia related.
Invisible Girl.
I'll see if I can get something for Invisible Girl. I don't know if there's merchandise for her. I really doubt it.
She's all over the place. Look. She's in everything.
I'm going to have the Frog Girl. Everyone loves the Frog Girl. Buy shit from the Frog Girl. It's in the description below. Buy the Frog Girl.
I'm linking to the Invisible Girl right now.
Yeah.
It's an invisible link.
Buy an Invisible Girl body pillow right now. She's like in your room right now. You can just do whatever you want with it.
It's an Amazon link written in invisible ink.
For the Invisible Girl.
Yes.
All right. So I think that covers everything we wanted to cover. It was a good episode. It's still really strong. We're going to see this become a huge epic mega hit and reach levels of fandom where people hate it just like they hate Naruto and Bleach.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
Oh, yeah. One last thing, Greg. What do you think of the new intro and the new ending?
Oh, those are really good. I really like the fantasy ending. I thought that's really cool. I think more anime should do some things like that.
Fun fact, that was all based on a character popularity poll artwork that the guy did. So, it was fun to see that all brought to life. It was neat. Okay, so goodbye for real.
Bye.
Love